Dear students, welcome to the second part of measurement science class 8 in the virtual class. And today we will study about the fundamental unit, derived unit. As we have discussed already about the fundamental quantity and derived quantity, most of the students especially come into the confusion that what are fundamental quantities and what are fundamental units, and what are derived quantities and what are derived units. So we will study in detail about this in our this class, and further we will discuss about the measurement of mass, measurement of weight, and measurement of time also. Let us go to clarify what are fundamental quantities and what are fundamental units. So students, in the first part we define fundamental quantities. Fundamental quantities are those quantities which do not require any kinds of helps. They are independent. So here fundamental quantities like length, mass, temperature, etc. are the fundamental quantities we define already. See, the length of the pen, this marker pen possesses some length, but when you express the length in unit like meter, centimeter, etc., then it will be the fundamental unit. The unit of fundamental quantity is called the fundamental unit. Length is the fundamental quantity, but when we measure length, we get the standard unit meter, centimeter, etc. Then it will be the fundamental unit. Mass is the quantity of matter contained in a body. So mass is the fundamental quantity, but when we measure the mass, and we will get one unit called the kilogram, and that is the fundamental unit. So the unit of fundamental quantity is called the fundamental unit. So next is temperature. Temperature is the fundamental quantity, and when we measure it, we get Kelvin, the unit. It will be the fundamental unit. Students, in this class we will discuss about fundamental quantities and fundamental units, and derived quantities and derived units. Before this, I like to say you something. Measurement is the topic which makes you practical in the process of measurement. So while you visit the shop, you should not be confused how much sugar, potatoes, etc. you are going to buy. Now, after having finished this lesson, you will be able to buy or sell things by knowing all the units and physical quantities and equipments, etc. used in this topic. So this topic also beneficial in the practical way of your life. So it is not especially for the examination to reply the answer, etc. So let us go to define once the measuring devices. So this is the clock, and this is used to measure the time. And next, I have some of the equipment here. This is the thermometer, and this thermometer especially is used to measure temperature of the body and temperature of the air temperature or room temperature, etc. And next is the measuring tape. And this is the device to measure the length of the physical quantity. And next equipment I have the measuring cylinder, and this is used to measure the volume of the liquid substances. And by using this, the shopkeeper especially measures the volume of kerosene, diesel, petrol, etc. Nowadays some advanced machines are also there in the petrol pumps. And next is the physical balance. This is the beam balance. but this is the digital beam balance. Digital balance this is, and this is especially used to measure the mass of the object. So let us go through the question we already made here. What are physical quantities and what are fundamental quantities and what are fundamental units? I have demonstrated some of the measuring scales, and now let us go through our main question. What are fundamental quantities and what are fundamental units? Fundamental quantities are those quantities which do not need any kinds of help of other quantities, which can be directly measured. Let us go through by using of some of the devices here. The length of this whiteboard. Length is the fundamental quantity. So by taking the measuring tape, we can measure it in this way. Here 1 meter and 20 centimeter. So the length of this edge of this board is 1 meter and 20 centimeter, 1.2 meter. So in order to measure the length by a single practice, we can measure the edge of this board. But let us go through the another physical quantity, that is the area. In order to measure the area of this bird, we cannot complete the measurement of area by a single activity or single effort. In order to measure the area, first of all, we need to measure the length, and secondly, again we have to use the measuring tape in order to measure the breadth, as we know that area equal to length into breadth. So first of all, carry out the length, and secondly carry out the breadth, and by the multiplication of length and breadth we can identify its area. Let us go through practically. As measured already, the length of this bird is 1 meter and 20 centimeter, and again the breadth of this bird is 90 centimeter, 0.9 meter. So length 1.2 meter and breadth is 0.9 meter. So in this way, by 2 attempts, the area is calculated. That is why area is derived quantity. So when length is measured, the unit is expressed in meter. That is why the unit of fundamental quantity is called fundamental unit, and derived quantities are area, speed, force, etc., and their units square meter, meter per second, kilogram meter per second square are the derived unit. Take the next example, speed. Speed is the distance covered by a body in 1 second. So for this, in order to measure the speed of any kinds of vehicle, then we first of all calculate the distance covered by the body using the measuring tape, and secondly the distance covered, the time taken during that distance covered by using the clock. So we need two measuring scale in order to identify speed: distance covered by measuring tape and time taken by the clock. That is why we can complete this process by the double attempt. So this needs the help of two or more than two physical quantity, as distance is one physical quantity and time is the another physical quantity. So that this is the derived quantity, speed, and the unit of speed is meter per second, because distance is measured in meter and time is measured in second. So meter per second is the derived unit. Hence, derived quantities are those quantities which need the help of two or more than two fundamental quantities, and derived units are those units which are specially used when we measure the derived quantities, or the unit of derive quantity. In the course of measurement, we are going to find out the mass of the another object. Let us take an example of a pumpkin. It is a very common thing. I think you have studied from class nursery and you have seen at home also. This is the pumpkin, and it is used as a very good source of vitamin A and a good type of vegetable. Let us go to take the mass of the pumpkin by using the digital beam balance. This is the digital beam balance, and now it has been set into 0. And when we put this on the top of the pan, and because of the effect of the spring, then the result will be seen in the display board in digits. So this is the easier measuring device. I'm going to put it on the top here. Yes, the mass of this pumpkin is 3 kg and 360 gram. So the mass is measured in kg unit. So here all the digits are expressed into kg, like 3.359 kilogram. And by this statement, we should understand that the mass of pumpkin is 3.36 times more than 1 standard kg. So it is compared with the 1 standard kg 1 kilogram. So it is 3.36 times more than. Students, we are in the final discussion of the second episode of measurement chapter, and the third or the final segment will be uploaded later. And today we will study about the difference between fundamental quantity and fundamental units, derived quantity and derived units. And we also learn how to identify the mass and length of the things. And later we also studied about the unit. In the next episode or in the final episode, we will study about some standard units, system of international D units, MKS system, CGS system, FPS system and SI system, and some of the measuring system of mass, weight and time. Later, at the end of the next class or end of this topic, we will learn to solve some of the numerical problem related to measurement, so that continuing watching us, and we are expecting your like, comment in our popular YouTube channel, Sunaghari Village channel. Thank you.